Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-day world currencies, stock markets and commodities wrap-up for Monday, April 28, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. Key currencies showed broad weakness in the US dollar. Against the euro, the greenback dropped nearly 0.5%, showing a very strong negative trend after breaking downward from 3 days of consolidation. The month-to-date returns highlight significant weakness, with the US dollar down 5.3% against the euro and 3.9% versus the British pound. The year-to-date decline approaches 10% against both the yen and Swiss franc. The US dollar displayed weakness across Asian currencies, breaking downward against the yuan and Singapore dollar after 3 days of flat trading. The greenback maintained a very strong negative trend against most regional currencies. Monthly returns show the US dollar declining 3.9% against the Canadian dollar and nearly 5% versus the New Zealand dollar. The yuan stands as an exception with a slight 0.2% gain against the greenback this month.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Norway and Japan lead today's gainers. Japan shows particular strength, up 5 consecutive sessions. Switzerland reached a new all-time high, continuing its very strong upward trend. Malaysia and Spain also posted solid gains, with Spain marking its 3rd straight day at record levels. Looking at returns, Norway and Japan show strong weekly performance, both up over 1.3%. Switzerland has impressed with a robust 16.9% year-to-date gain. Spain stands out with the strongest year-to-date return of 33%. Among today's decliners, Turkey led losses, dropping 1.5% and breaking downward after 3 days of flat movement. Chile fell 1.3%, despite maintaining a very strong positive trend. Israel, New Zealand, and Philippines saw more modest declines. Examining returns, Turkey shows weakness across all time frames, down 12.2% year-to-date. Despite today's decline, Chile maintains impressive year-to-date gains of 24.8%. Israel and New Zealand show flat to slightly negative returns for the year.
Considering commodities, I'm Liquidity. Gold futures led metals higher, closing at 3,354.30, up 49.60, showing a very strong positive trend. Silver futures and copper futures maintained strong positive trends despite flat trading over 3 days. Returns analysis shows gold futures leading year-to-date performance with a 27% gain. Silver and copper also posted strong returns of 13% and 20% respectively. Aluminum and palladium have shown more modest performance. Energy markets showed mixed performance. Natural gas futures surged 8.2% to 3.18, breaking upward after 3 flat days. Brent crude and crude oil both fell about 2%, breaking downward from recent consolidation. Returns data reveals challenging conditions in energy markets. Brent and crude oil both down about 13% month-to-date. Natural gas shows increased volatility with a 22% monthly decline despite today's sharp rally. In livestock, live cattle and feeder cattle both reached new all-time highs, rising 2.7% and 1.5% respectively. Lean hogs dropped sharply by 8%, despite maintaining a strong positive trend. Looking at returns, live cattle and feeder cattle showed robust year-to-date gains of 9.4% and 12.2%. Despite today's sharp decline, lean hogs maintained a 14.4% year-to-date advance. In grains, rough rice hit an all-time low, falling 3.3% after 6 consecutive down days. Soybean futures broke upward from consolidation, while wheat declined 1.1% amid strong downward volatility. Returns analysis shows mixed performance in grains. Corn and soybeans posted modest year-to-date gains around 5%, while rough rice declined over 9% year-to-date, reflecting persistent weakness. Soft commodities showed mixed performance today. Coffee futures extended its winning streak to 5 days, closing at 410, up 2.5%. Orange juice jumped 5.9% to 267.15. Cocoa experienced the largest decline, dropping 5% to 8,920. Looking at year-to-date returns, coffee leads with a 28.2% gain, while orange juice shows the steepest decline at -45.5%. Cocoa has had particularly strong momentum this month, with a 12.9% return despite today's pullback.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-day world currency, markets and commodities wrap-up. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Liquidity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency and commodities. Thanks for watching.